Hi everyone, this is Dr. Pritam Haith. Today I will solve the portal frame using two methods. First one is portal method, second one is cantilever method. So this type of portal frame you have seen in your hometown. These are the multi-storied building. So how the multi-storied building is analyzed and what are the different forces, that means the axial force in column, bending moment in column, shear force in beam and other moment in beam, what are the forces acts in the structural member, we will analyze, and after that we will draw the total shear force and bending moment diagram of the given portal frame. Here one problem is given, analyze the portal frame given below using portal method. So today I will discuss what is the portal method, and in the next class I will discuss what is the cantilever method. So here one example is given. This is a 3-story building. The space frame is given here. The distance of first bay is 8 meter, second bay is 6 meter and third bay is 4 meter, and the height of the story is 4 meter, 4 meter, 4 meter. Here 40 kilonewton load is working at top story, 80 kilonewton load is working in this story and 80 kilonewton load is working in this story. So we have to determine what are the axial force in column, bending moment in column, bending moments in beam, shear force in beam, like that. So first we will assume that the point of contraflexure occurs at the midpoint of each member. What I told, point of contraflexure occurs at midpoint of each member. So our assumption is the each member's point of contraflexure will occur at the center point of the member. This is a approximation method. So in this, using this method we won't get the exact value, but this is the easiest method to analyze a portal frame, to know the different forces, reactive components occurs in the frame. So come to the solution. Here first we will estimate the column shear. Okay, so first column shear I will calculate for the story 3. Okay, that means third floor. So let us assume that Q3 is the shear for each end column, and for intermediate column the shear is 2Q3. In the assumption it is told that, in the earlier class in the assumption I told you the shear force is experiencing by the end column is Q and the intermediate column is 2Q. That means the shear force is experiencing by the intermediate column is twice of the end column. So if the end column experience Q3 shear force, then the intermediate column will experience 2Q3 shear force, right? So what will be the total shear force in story 3? Q3 for this end column, Q2 for intermediate column GH, 2Q3 for KL column and Q3 for OP column, right? So this shear force will be total equals to 40. It is given here 40. Okay, so 6Q equals to 40, so Q3 equals to 20/3 kilonewton. So here I have calculated the shear force for end column is 20/3 in the earlier slide. So what is the shear force in the end column is 20/3 kilonewton. So what will be the shear force in intermediate column? That is 40/3, because the shear force of intermediate column will be twice of end column. So 2 into 20/3 means 40/3 kilonewton. So in this way the column shear of KL is 40/3 and column shear OP is 20/3, right? Now what are the shear forces in beams and column will be acting? You can see here in this figure, you can see the column CD shear force is working in this pattern. This is called point of contraflexure. So in this point of contraflexure, if you consider the top story, that means third story, so 40 kilonewton is working in this direction. Therefore the shear force will be acting in opposite direction, in all the columns. So I have drawn the shear force here in left side, here in that direction, here in that direction, and this also in this direction. So all the shear force in this column just above the point of contraflexure will be opposite of 40 kilonewton. Okay, then just beneath the point of contraflexure those forces will be just opposite. Okay, again you come to second story, 80 kilonewton is working. So in this column just above the point of contraflexure the shear force will be acting opposite of 80 kilonewton. So all the shear force just above the point of contraflexure will be acting opposite of 80 kilonewton, and just below the direction will be changed. Then come to first story, just above the point of contraflexure all the shear force is acting opposite of 80 kilonewton, and just below the contraflexure those are opposite. Okay, so in this way you can draw the forces in the column and come to the beam. I am assuming that in this beam the shear force on the left side of point of contraflexure will be acting upper side, and just after the point of contraflexure the shear forces will be acting downward. Similar pattern you can follow for the next base. Pause. So here come to the second story. Let Q2 is the shear for each end column and 2Q is the shear for each intermediate column. I am talking about the second floor. So in this floor you have to calculate what are the shear force in the columns, right? So if you consider this story, here I am assuming the intermediate columns are subjected to 2Q2 shear force and the end columns are subjected to Q2 shear force. So Q2 plus 2Q2 plus 2Q2 plus 2Q2 will be equals to 40 plus 80. I will add the total force just above this story, what are the total force are acting. So 80 plus 40. So I have written here Q2 plus 2Q2 plus 2Q2 plus Q2 equals to 40 plus 80. So 6Q2 equals to 120. So Q2 equals to 20 kilonewton. So the shear for end column is 20 kilonewton and for intermediate column is 40 kilonewton. So here I have started story 1. In story 1 similar calculation you can do. Q1 is the shear for end column and 2Q is the shear for intermediate column, EF and IJ. So you can write Q1 plus 2Q1 plus 2Q1 plus Q1 equals to 80 plus 80 plus 40. So 6Q1 equals to 200, Q1 equals to 100 by 3. So end column shear equals to 100 by 3 and intermediate column shear equals to 200 by 3. So here we will determine column moments. How we will determine column moments? Just see here. We will consider first story 3, then story 1, then story 2. This is story 1. Okay. So first let us calculate the story 3 column moments. The end column and intermediate column we will calculate. So for end column, moment at top or bottom, what will be the moment at top and bottom? The shear force is acting like this, okay. If the shear force is acting like this in this column CD, so what will be the moment force into this distance? So this force is nothing but 20 by 3 kilonewton, and what is the distance? 2 meter. So force into distance is the moment at top and bottom of the column. So 20 by 3 into 2 will be 40 by 3 kilonewton meter for end column, and for intermediate column this force will be, say this is 20 by 3 and this shear force will be 40 by 3, this also 40 by 3. So if you multiply this force with this distance, that is 2 meter, so you will get the moment at intermediate columns, that is 40 by 3 into 2, that is 80 by 3 kilonewton meter. So in this way we can calculate the moment at end column as well as intermediate column. For third story. For second story, same rule you can apply. The shear at the column is 20. If you multiply the distance, you will get 40 kilonewton. And for intermediate column also, the end intermediate column, and in case of intermediate column, the column moment is at top and bottom is 40 into 80, that is 40 into 2, that is 80 kilonewton meter. Similarly, for story 1, the end column moment is 100 by 3 into 2, the CG distance is 2. So 100 by 3 into 2 is 200 by 3. This is for end column, and for intermediate column, the end moment at top or bottom of the column is 200 by 3 into 2. So this will be 400 by 3 kilonewton meter. So here we will calculate the beam moment. First, what is the beam moment I will get? Just see here, at this D joint, this DC column and DH beam is connected. So what is the moment generating in DC column? That same moment will be generated in DH beam. So the column moment of DC, that is 20 by 3 into 2, the column moment of DC is 20 by 3 into 2, will be the same moment in DH beam. So MDC will be equals to MDH. So I can write MDH equals to MDC, that is 40 by 3. Okay. Now I can say that MHD equals to MDH, MHD equals to MDH. This is same member, this is same beam, that is equals to 40 by 3, that I calculated here, right? Now come to the last member, that is MHD plus MHL. MHD means this is H and this is D, plus this is HL will be equals to MHG. In a intermediate column, intermediate joint, it is like that, this member moment plus this member moment plus this member moment will be equals to this column moment. Similarly, this member moment plus this member moment will be equals to this column moment. In this way, we can calculate the intermediate beam moment and intermediate column moment. Okay. So while I am considering H joint, so I can say that MDH plus MHL equals to MGH. In the other word, MHD plus MHL equals to MHG. So I can write MHD plus MHL equals to MHG. So what is the value of MHD? MHD value is 40 by 3. I can write here 40 by 3. I don't know the MHL value, so I keep it as it is. And I know the value of MHG, because MHG value is how much? 40 by 3 into 2. This is shear force is acting just above the point of contraflexure, and it is acting at 2 meter distance. Total is 4 meter. So this is 2 meter. So 40 by 3 into 2, that is 80 by 3. So MHG equals to 80 by 3. So I put here MHG equals to 80 by 3. So MHL equals to 80 by 3 minus 40 by 3 equals to 40 by 3. So MHL equals to 40 by 3. Now come to the last member. So here you can see MLP will be equals to MPL will be equals to MPO, because at the end column and at the end beam the moment will be same. Okay. So what are the moment is generating in end column, that is PO, the same moment will be generating in beam LP. Okay. So MLP equals to MPL equals to MPO, MPO equals to MLP. So I can write MPO equals to 40 by 3, because we have calculated the end column moment is 20 by 3 into 2, 40 by 3. So I can write MPO equals to 40 by 3. Now come to second story. In this second story, we have C joint. So I will calculate first MCG. So MCG equals to nothing but MCD plus MCB. Okay. Intermediate joint. So in this joint, if you consider, so this column moment will be equals to this beam moment will be equals to this column moment plus this column moment. So CG will be equals to MCD and MCD plus MCB. So MCD we know 40 by 3, MCB we know in the column moment we have calculated, that is 40. So I can write MCG equals to 160 by 3, and MCG will be equals to MGC, same member. You are counting from left to right and you are counting for right to left, the value is be same, that is MGC equals to MCG equals to 160 by 3, right? So come to GC, this is G, this is C. So MGC plus MGK will be equals to MGH plus MGF. This is the intersection of that particular building. So in this point you can calculate MGC plus MGK equals to MGH plus MGF. Total beam moment will be equals to total column moment. Again I am explaining, this beam plus this beam moment will be equals to this column plus this column moment. So MGC plus MGK will be equals to MGH plus MGF. So I will put the value here. MGC we have calculated here 160 by 3, MGC we have calculated 160 by 3 plus MGK we don't know, we keep it as it is. MGH we have calculated 80 by 3, GH means this is GH 80 by 3, so we keep it here, and MGF we have calculated in the column moment, that is 80. So from here you can calculate MGK equals to 320 by 3. So MGK equals to, I have calculated 160 by 3, right? So this is 80 by 3 plus 80 by 3 plus 80 equals to 320 by 3. That means MGK equals to 320 by 3 minus 160 by 3 equals to 160 by 3 kilonewton meter. All the moments are in kilonewton meter. Now come to kg member. MKG, this is K, this is G, will be equals to MGK, GK equals to 160 by 3. Now KO, MKO will be equals to MOK will be equals to MPO plus MON. So I can write MKO equals to MPO plus MON. So I know what is the value of MPO. So I put it here 40 by 3, and what is the value of MON? So I put it here 40. So I get MKO equals to 40 by 3 plus 40 equals to 160 by 3. So here I will calculate for story 1. We are calculating the beam moment. So in case of, I will calculate the MBF. Now come to the story 1. MBF, this beam moment I will calculate. So MBF I can write MBC plus MBA. MBC plus MBA. MBC what I calculated 40. MBA what I calculated 200 by 3. So what will be the total BF? MBF will be 40 plus 200 by 3 equals to 320 by 3, right? Now come to MBF equals to MFB. MFB equals to MBF, the same beam equals to 320 by 3. So MBF plus MFJ equals to MFG plus MFE. That means this beam moment plus this beam moment will be equals to this column moment plus this column moment. The beam moment of MBF plus MFJ equals to MFG plus MFE. Okay, so I can write MFB plus MFJ equals to MFG plus MFE. Okay, I know but the value of MFB, how much? 320 by 3. So I can write 320 by 3. MFJ is, I keep it as it is. I don't know the value. I will calculate the value. And if MFG, this is FG, is nothing but 80, and MFE is nothing but 400 by 3. So total is 640 by 3. So MFJ equals to 640 by 3 minus 320 by 3 equals to 320 by 3. So in this way we can calculate the MFJ moment. So as I calculate MFJ moment, so I can write MFJ equals to MJF, MFJ equals to MJF. So I write MFJ equals to MJF or MJF equals to MFJ equals to 320 by 3. Okay. Now come to the last member, that is MJN. MJN equals to MNJ. MNJ equals to MNO plus MNM. MJN equals to MNJ. What is the beam moment? This beam moment will be equals to this column moment plus this column moment. So MNJ equals to MNO plus MNM. So I wrote here MNJ equals to MNO plus MNM. MNO we know 40, MNM we know 200 by 3. In earlier slide we calculated. So total is 320 by 3. So MJN or MNJ, whatever you call, equals to 320 by 3. So this is the beam. In this way we can calculate the beam moment and column moment of the particular building. So now we will calculate the beam shear. What are the shear forces acting in each beam? We will calculate the beams. To calculate the shear force in each beam, we can use 2m by L. Okay. So m is the beam moment and L is the span of each beam. So randomly you can choose, suppose you want to calculate the beam moment in GK. So what is the beam moment of GK? Here m is 160 by 3 and L is 6 meter. Okay, this is 6 meter given here. So we can put, you can use the formula 2m by L. So 2 into m is 160 by 3 by L is 6. So I can calculate the shear force in GK is 160 by 9. Suppose you want to find out the shear force in KO. So 2 into m is 160 by 3 and L is 4 meter. So this is 80 by 3. So in this way we can calculate the beam moment of each beam using the formula 2m by L. And these are the calculations, simple. 2 into 320 by 3 by 4, you will get 160 by 3. And like this you can calculate the beam moment using this formula. Now we will draw the shear force diagram and bending moment diagram of the given portal frame. I have calculated the beam moment, beam shear, axial force in column, moment in column. So I can draw the bending moment diagram here. Just see, these are the shear force, this is the shear force. In this way you can draw the shear force diagram of each beam. Say what is 40 by 3, what is 40 by 9, whatever is there. In this way you can draw the shear force diagram of each beam. Okay, so now you can draw the shear of the each column. So this is the shear of each column, this is the next column shear force, the column shear force is like this, and this is the next shear force of the column. Okay, so this is the shear force diagram of total entire portal frame, and this is the bending moment diagram of the building. So here you have to draw the bending moment diagram of each member, that is of each column and each beam. So this is the bending moment diagram of this beam, this is the bending moment diagram of this beam, and this is the bending moment diagram of this beam. Similarly you can draw the beam bending moment diagram in this way, right? And bending moment of each column you can draw in this way, right? So now I am drawing the bending moment diagram of this column in this way. So you can also draw the bending moment diagram of each beam and column in this way, which is the most easiest process to draw the bending moment diagram. And just this positive, positive, this is negative, this is negative, positive, and give the sign convention. It will give a better look of your diagram. Okay, so in this way you can draw the bending moment diagram of each member, and it will give a nice look of the bending moment and shear force diagram. Okay.